I already did a $300 gaming PC build a few weeks ago, but it was rightly pointed out to me that $350 is a way better sweet spot because with $50 more, my build could be many times better. So $350, here we go. For the CPU, I decided to go with the Intel Pentium G4400. It's a Skylake 3.3 GHz dual-core CPU with 3 MB of L3 cache. Now, I kept going back and forth between this CPU and the Athlon X4 860K. I ended up going with this one because of the lower wattage and because even though the Athlon is a quad-core, the G4400 still manages to slightly beat out the X4 in performance overall, but not by much. Overall, the CPU will make a great addition to our build. Now for the motherboard, I decided on the Gigabyte GA H110MA board. It's a micro ATX board that supports our CPU and has 4 SATA 6 GB connections for all your hard drive needs. For I/O, it has HDMI, 2 USB 3.0, 2 USB 2.0, Ethernet 3-port audio system, and a PS2 for mouse and keyboard. It also has 2 DIMM slots for memory with support for up to 32 gigabytes. Speaking of memory, we have 8 GB of 2133 MHz HyperX Fury DDR4 memory. Now, if you look at benchmarks, there really isn't much difference in gaming between DDR3 and DDR4, but they both cost about the same right now, and our CPU calls for DDR4, so that's what we've got. Now, powering the whole build, we have the Roswell Arc 450. This power supply is really stable, it'll last a long time, and has plenty of juice for all of our components. Now we've come to the GPU. The GPU we have is the Sapphire Radeon RX 460 card. This card is basically the best GPU for the $100 mark. It even beats out the 750 Ti by an average of like 7 frames per second on most games. So this thing is no joke. It has 2 GB of GDDR5 memory, which is enough for most games these days. It has a core clock of 1.2 GHz, which is exceptionally high for a GPU of this price point. It also has a whopping 896 stream processors for fantastic performance on practically any game you can think of. Housing this entire build is the Roswell FBM02. This is practically the most popular computer case for people wanting to shave money off of the build, which is exactly what we want to do. It has adequate space and is the updated version of the very popular FMB1 that came out a couple of years ago. So what kind of performance can you expect from a build like this? Well, for lighter games like CSGO, you can expect probably 70, if not 90 or more FPS playing at high in 1080p. For more demanding games like GTA 5, the average should be around 40 or 45 frames per second at 1080p in medium settings. Where this build is really going to crumble would be a CPU-intensive games like The Witcher 3, where the number of cores you have is really important. There, I would say you can expect maybe 30 or 35 frames per second playing in 1080p at low settings. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this build. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to see more like this. My name is Akil Mohideen, and I will catch you guys later.